All right, everyone, welcome to this Tuesday night edition of CPS Victims Hunting for Justice. I am your host, CPS Punisher Darren Guay, and at this moment, here we are. Welcome to this Tuesday night edition. Whoa, hold on. CPS Victims Hunting for Justice. I'm on here giving some feedback, and I don't want to get that. We're going to take a quick pause. 1 minute here, guys. Let me get myself right here. Hold on. Sorry about this. All right, I apologize for that. All of a sudden, I heard myself again, and I was on the other computer. So now we have no echoes. We have no more worries. We have nothing going on. Tonight, it's another night talking about child protective services, what the wrongs and rights. And well, there is no rights, right? Because we've been given inalienable rights in this world that we live. And CPS feels like they could go ahead and just dismantle those, take those away. Nobody can take those away but our Maker, and that is the way it's endowed into all of our American history. We have a Maker, and he has given us rights to live in this country, and one of those rights are to reproduce and to have children, to pursue the avenues of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And somehow along the way, the Child Protective Services have gone out of their way to manipulate a system that was intentionally made for a good reason and a good cause, to help and service families in need, children that were actually being abused. And we're talking about children that were showing up excuse me, with broken legs, battered, bruised eyes, things of a matter of severity that they felt like someone needed to step in. So this is a big deal in this country, guys. This is the problem, is that we've allowed our government to step in to our homes and decide what we, the people, are allowed and not allowed to do with our children. Okay, when this system was created in the 60s, it was meant to help these families in low income and begin to identify these children that are actually being abused. It wasn't until the 60s, and I'm reading from a little paper here, guys. So this is a short history of child protection in America. It's written by a gentleman named John Myers. If you're interested in this stuff, it's really a good read. But he goes on to say that it wasn't even until the 70s, 1975, that we put this into place, and that it was actually considered a government organization. CAPTA authorized federal funds to improve the state responses to physical abuse. That came along. So CAPTA was the thing that carried the National Center on Child Abuse and Neglect. The center funded important research on maltreatment. CAPTA played a major role in shaping the nationwide system of governmental CPS in place today. In addition, CAPTA marked the final passing of privately funded non-governmental child protection societies. Congress periodically renewed CAPTA, and this important legislation remains in force today. There was no ICWA before all of this. That was added in with this CAPTA. Child abuse reporting laws, coupled with enhanced awareness of child abuse, produced an increase in intervention. By the late 70s, the rising number of children in long-term foster care set off alarm bells with Congress, resulting in the passage of the Adoption Assistance and Child Welfare Act of 1980. All right? That act required states to make reasonable efforts to avoid removing children from maltreating parents. When removal was necessary, reasonable efforts were required to reunite the families. Every child in foster care had to have a permanency plan to return the child home or move forward termination of parental rights. For children who could not go home, Congress provided financial incentives for adoption. That act also provided financial support for adoptive parents who adopted children with special needs. The effort to preserve families, family prevention was a key component in the 1980 Act and a dominant paradigm of child protection in the 80s. In the 90s, however, critics argued that the over-reliance on family preservation sometimes led to tragedy. One of the most forceful critics of family preservation was Richard Gels, who challenged the effectiveness of family preservation in his 1996 book, The Book of David: How Preserving Families Can Cost Children's Lives. Look at the government. It's put in place for us, the people, right? The government, we run this government. This government was built for us. The Constitution was written for our government to follow, to keep the government in line, and to also the Bill of Rights were to make sure that our freedoms are protected. Our freedoms are raising our children. Our children come from us. How on earth have we allowed in this country our government to walk into a home that's perfectly fine and soluble and livable and all of these things and tell you because you have 3 dishes dirty over here that you're a danger to your child, let alone the funny thing of the imminent danger word, right? Imminent danger. Okay, when I hear imminent danger, I think of sirens, I think of police cars and ambulances and, all hell's breaking loose to the 4th degree. To these guys, imminent danger? Imminent danger is because they felt like saying it was imminent danger. It's just a word to them. And they're taking too many kids. They're taking way too many kids at the definition of imminent danger, or under the definition of using that word of imminent danger. Because I'm not sure what the actual definition of it is, but I'm sure that it's something. It means intense. It means right now. It means, how many of you out there, if you guys don't mind, get in the chat here and put on there, how many of you had an imminent danger situation, but the caseworkers took 3, 4, 5, a week, 2 weeks to come and get your child? How many of you? Now, how is that right? That they can hold on to this imminent danger clause that they are trying to state that your child isn't safe, but yet your child's not safe for imminent purposes, but they're safe to wait there 2 weeks for you. Or here's a better one. How about when they come pick up your child and they don't have the car seat, or they're not prepared to take your child with them, so they have to ask you for your stuff, but yet they are in imminent danger? How come these caseworkers aren't riding around with some sort of a precautionary kit in their car? Why? Because they don't care about the kids. That's why. I'm hoping that some of you will write in on this chat and tell me how long this imminent danger thing lasted. Because I think, if anything, that's the number one thing that we need to get discussed, determined, and passed into the rulings of all of this child protective services stuff, is what is imminent danger and what are the prongs that we need to make imminent danger a tool or a necessary item for removal. What would make sense? How many things have to be going on, or what type of incident has to go on to produce an imminent danger position for your child? This is just out of freaking control. And I'm going to tell you this. I need help from all of you. I keep talking about the whole pack it up thing. And that's what I mean this, guys. We all need to get together. I've started the Pack It Up program on my site, abolishcps.com. I'm still building this thing, guys, so please, any help is warranted. Constructive criticisms, shares, anything you guys can do. There's a donate page also. You guys can help me out with that. That's abolishcps.com. It's got a bunch of us that are doing these videos on there, so you can catch everybody else's, not just mine. There's podcast information. I've got my podcast on Spotify. It's called That's Our Daughter. And that was about my whole take up of what went on, and it talks about how CPS is and what they do and how my life was reflected by that. But yeah, please, guys, Pack It Up is the thing. I want everybody that has groups or children or anything along those lines to go to abolishcps.com and sign up on the list. There's a message list. There's this, because I want to make a board in each country, and all of us by names are in each country, and we can show when it comes time for us to make a movement, whether it's you guys out in California or me up in Maine or any of this stuff. We've got a page of millions of people backing us up so that these senators and these congresspeople and this town politicians and all of these people who are denying us our rights as parents, all of these people who are taking away our children because of words they can barely spell, we can show them that there's more of us than them, and our plans, our ideas need to be heard, and not only heard, they have to be fixed. They work for us, people. They work for us. And somewhere along the line, we have forgotten this. And you know who gets to get the short end of this stick? My daughter, your daughters and sons that are out there. The ones that have been taken from our families for no purpose whatsoever other than to cause issues in our lives. And for them to put money in their pockets. You know, you can sit there and criticize and say, he doesn't know what he's talking about, this, that, or the other. Well, let me tell you, if Title IV funding being hijacked by these people is not enough for you to understand that there's millions of dollars at stake with each kid that they are taking from a family home, and if you're not realizing that the state's governments are actually increasing the amount of kids being adopted and taken into homes, if you can't see all of these things, I don't know. I can't help you. I mean, there's a senator out here by the name of Josh Hawley. I'm sorry, and he is phenomenal, right? This guy is going after all of these people in all of these different concourse areas, but specifically, he has been touching into the human trafficking part, the those type of situations, and he is holding accountable these people. It is intense. I'm looking for it right here, guys, because I want to play you a clip here of Senator Hawley and the way that he handles what's going on in his side of things. I mean, this guy, he's a great. I mean, as long as this guy is true to what he says he is, so he waited a long time so that he could get into the politics. He didn't even try very hard for national issues because he knew the state side of the politics going to be heard. So he saved all of his energy and everything for this time now, where he's on the national scene on a great spotlight. This guy is stopping at nothing, and it's awesome to watch. I'm going to put this clip on for you guys right here. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Sorry. Get out of there. Okay. Holly. There we are. Where do we go here? Sorry, guys. I've lost y'all. Let's find you. There we are. Okay. There we go. All right, about that, I'm back. I want to show you these videos here of Senator Hawley and how he has been approaching and making these senators and these Congress people understand how big and how nasty the problem is that we have here. And you guys are going to wait till you hear it to share audio, share tab on the screen instead. Okay, we need to do the entire screen. Sorry about that. Go over here, screen 1, screen 2. Let's do screen. So I need to just do this. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Sorry, I know here. There we go. Okay, got Josh Hawley right there. Okay, let's put him over here, please. Thank you. I'm getting better at this, guys. I'm sorry I don't have a producer yet. That's why I have the Fundly account. I'm trying to find somebody that can help me do this stuff, because I want this program to be very impressive for you, and I want you to watch it and it's put together. I mean, you can see the structure of it. Also, hey, if you got some questions or anything, you want to hop on this show, get in the chat. I'd love to hear your stories. We had a couple of people aren't showing up tonight, so I've got an empty pallet here. I've got Officer Herb Petty with me, as usual, our lawman, or as far as lawman, I mean the lawman. He was a police chief for in the state of New York for many, many years. He's done a lot of service for us. Actually, Herb, you ready? You want to come out and just say hi to everybody? You mind introducing yourself? Let me pull you out here, buddy. Hold on a second. All right, let me get you out. There you go. All right, everybody. This is Officer Herb Petty.
Okay.
Herb.
Hi, Herb. This is Herb. I'm saying hello to myself. Yeah, my name's Herb Petty. I served law enforcement in New York State, and I did that for over 30 years. And I've had very little encounters with CPS, but the encounters that I have had was basically to be there to make sure that order, in other words, keep order at the house where CPS personnel would arrive. My job was, and our job, basically police officers and sheriff jobs, are more or less there to make sure there's no confrontation. We, in and of ourselves, don't interact with the CPS unless there's a confrontation. When we respond to calls, and there are situations where a parent or parents have to be taken into custody, we generally like to reunite the child with a family member or someone that the perpetrator might know that could take care of the children.
Right.
So we generally don't just reach out to get CPS unless there's no one available to take that child.
Okay. All right. Now that's what your understanding was, right? Back when you were in law enforcement. Right.
Yes.
But you're seeing now what's really going on, right? Like you're seeing how these people and their antics and their tactics, it's almost like a bullied Gestapo like thing, right? Like you've seen these videos.
Well, I've seen a lot of situations and heard of situations where CPS personnel did not obtain any authorization from the legal system, like a judge signing a paperwork for CPS personnel to obtain a child. Right, and they would go to the house, and that parents would feel intimidated because they'll see a uniformed police officer, and CPS is saying, "We're taking your child," and parents just give up the child without a fight. I think parents should ask, well, do you have any documentation from a judge that says you could take my child? And I think in most cases, they probably don't, because when CPS personnel walk up, they usually have some documentation signed by a judge.
Mm-hmm. Usually.
But when they don't, I think that parents, usually they'll have something. But there are times when they don't. Right. And parents would just invite CPS into the house. They invite the police into the house. And the CPS personnel would say, for whatever reason, they're going to take the child. Sign this over here. If you agree, sign that over here. If you don't agree, well, we're taking the child.
So I know we're suggest, you're my go-to guy when it comes to the legal questions. But you know what? I'm going to share the screen right now. I'm going to get off the Holly thing for a moment. I'm going to share this screen. This is off of abolishcs.com right here, which is, our website here. Let me make sure it shares the audio. Okay, pick 2 here. All right, this is a situation, okay, that this is a family that a father that has been fighting for his children for it's been quite some time now. But he has the whole thing. Documented. So I would like to take a look at this now, and let me see if I can get this a little bit bigger for us. And maybe you can tell us, I can stop or whatever, start whenever you want here if you see something you want to get at. But maybe you could tell us about what's going on here and how you see this and what's going on, because this is more or less about what's going on. All right, so let's try to do this here. Okay, what about that, Herbert?
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good. Are you Joseph?
I am, yes.
Okay, I understand you removed your kids from school without permission today?
Not without permission, no. It's
Okay, in violation of a court order?
No, in fact, the court order that's standing right now allows me to have my children every Wednesday and Thursday
Okay.
over the weekend.
Okay, so I'll just be straight up with you. We're here to remove the kids from your house. Okay, we're going to sign an emergency order.
Okay, first of all, Herbert, as we hear right here, the police officer is with the CPS agent. Okay, you don't see them. I've seen this video before, so I know what's going on.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Right,
I just saw.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've seen it. So the CPS agent's there. Why are the police approaching this door ahead of the CPS and ahead of the CPS worker if they're there and they're supposed to be just as a sign of like let's just make sure that we're safe in the public and no nothing breaks out. Why are the police engaging first in this situation, would you say?
I couldn't tell you why. I would just say this. A lot of people look out their window. They don't recognize someone. They won't answer the door.
Okay.
There's a uniform officer at the door. They will respond.
Okay. So
it's not just a salesperson.
Okay.
Like it's not a salesperson knocking at the door.
So you think that's just because so they can identify who they are for sure, and that it's all legit, and that's why you think that they're doing that. That's would be your professional.
That's what I think.
Okay, all right. Well, let's continue on watching this here. Let's see what we got.
And take them out of your house. Okay.
Did my lawyer contact you?
No, lawyer did not contact us. No, we're here to remove the children for safety reasons.
There's another guy.
When the OFP is dismissed, and my lawyer has made this explicitly clear, when the order for protection is dismissed, we revert back to the standing order, which is the divorce decree, which says every Wednesday and Thursday, Mr. Class has his children. Every other Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Mr. Class has his children.
But if there's an additional court order saying something else.
But there isn't a court order. What's the court order? What's the court order right now that I'm violating?
The safety plan that you mentioned.
That's not a court order.
The judge signed off on it.
No. They didn't. Can you show me that?
He does have the document.
Can you show me the court order?
So
The court order. Not a safety plan is not a court order.
Okay. This is where I would start to question this again too. Where now this guy is asking these police to see an order, because if you remember, that police officer said, we're here to remove your kid. Your kids, there's 3 girls in this situation. So again, the police officer is taking front row to this situation, right? So once they find out that there's no document that says, let us in, he falls back on, I forget what their procedure was that they called it, but they're allowed to make a determination of, well, we'll take your kid anyway because it's under immediate danger. But again, as a police officer, if you didn't have this paper in your hand that supposedly we're supposed to all get, what would you do as a cop, Herbert? Like, what's the procedure right now?
Well, first of all, I didn't understand why. I didn't hear the CPS personnel speak to the. In fact, it was the officers.
Right. That's all that's been so far. Right. This guy was just speaking up when I just paused it. So, but did you see also the way that other police officer stepped in front and he got in the way of the door too, almost like he was blocking the guy, and he was definitely posing as towards a, an intimidating way. He was definitely there to, beef up his presence and their presence. Would you agree to that?
Yes, I saw it as a beefing up of the presence. I felt that even when they were knocking at the door.
Right. Their strength. All right, let's go on here.
But I don't feel my CPS personnel do not initiate themselves involved.
Right. At this point,
let the officer sit back.
Right. That's what
let the officer sit back and let the CPS officer do their job.
Right. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here.
Right, so there's no court order.
He's sitting back there. Look at him.
The safety plan is not a court order.
And I told you very explicitly last Tuesday that I worked with CPS. No. Let me finish. I told you very clearly last Tuesday when we spoke via Zoom with the social worker. I said I worked with CPS for 5 years. I have no problem working with CPS. I'm fine with doing the safety plan. I have a supervisor with me. You said, okay, that's fine. We will have a supervisor with your children. I have a supervisor with the children.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, supervising CPS children?
No, agreed upon supervisor. So when I let him know I'm going to have another adult with me, I gave him my mom and my sister's name first. He said, okay, I'll contact them. Well, I didn't get my children last week because she fled the state and took them to Florida. So then I said, all right, I'll do everything I can. I said, I said, quote, I'm not in agreement with the safety plan. I haven't signed it. I'm not in agreement with it. However, because I want to work with you guys, I'm willing to still bend over backwards, even though the order for protection was dismissed. I've been falsely accused over and over again of abuse, but I'm still playing the game. I'm going to go along with it. I'm going to try to have something with my kids. Now it's for my own protection, just so that she's not pulling bullshit out of her ass again. Now all of a sudden going to jail. So I want someone here all the time. I record everything. That's why I'm recording this. Everything I record. So that's fine.
Okay, he's recording, all right, which is good. Everybody needs to take note of that. Record everything because they try so hard to make you believe that you are not allowed to record them and so on. But as an officer, Herbert, you shouldn't mind, right? This should be not a big deal that they're recording, right? I mean, was this response
Not
good
at
for
all.
that?
Not at all.
They were recording too,
Yes,
or
yes,
should he have, that's it?
That's fine. That's
Should
fine.
we-
My
should we
concern
announce-
is that the parent should be talking to the CPS, not to the police.
Right, he's selling his case to the CPS worker, not the police department. I mean, he's selling it backward. He's trying to sell his thing to the police more but that must show that. So that again kind of shows that he's more intimidated by the police than he is for the man that's really there to take his child.
Right. He should be discussing all that with the CPS personnel,
Right.
not the police. The police doesn't have a depth of field what's going on.
Right. All right. Well, let's see. Let's move forward with this thing.
I'm tired. My patience is zilch for this. And now I've got MPD here, who I consider trusted allies that are supposed to uphold the law. But they're telling me that we don't get involved in civil matters. That's what Dino was telling me yesterday.
All right. That I want to talk about. That right there, I want to talk about. So if me and my wife, when we had a child with us, if we had our baby with us and we got into an argument and the police come and they separate us and we want to choose, which one of us get the baby or whatever, the police department's going to tell us what? We don't get involved in civil matters, correct?
Correct.
Why is it when CPS calls, the police come with them and they side with them? Because this, and again, is really a civil matter, right?
No. You see, when CPS is involved, I can't respond. I can't answer that. Except for by saying that I'm responding to a call by CPS. Is there security, make sure there's violence, make sure there's no outbreaks.
Okay.
You generally just stand there. And why the officers talking with the guy? I don't get that. Why the guy talking to the officer? I don't get that. And I haven't heard from the CPS.
Right. Well, let's see if we can get him to talk. See what he has to say.
My child right. When there's no order in place depriving me of my rights. I am not okay with this, Hirad. You have lied to me.
Now he's
told
going
me
for
nothing
him.
about this. No, it's my turn to talk. You have told me nothing about this. I've talked with you over and over, crying, screaming for months now. That my rights are being deprived. She runs onto the state. Did the police show up? Did she call us in Florida and say that she's left the state and we need to bring the children back? Probably didn't yet. Bring the cops over my house here to take my children away. That's in the best interest of my children? How is that in the best interest of my children? Answer me that.
We were supposed to work together as a family. We have five teams for this case. So at this time, that's why we want to put the kids on hold.
This is still not, you haven't answered any of my questions. I don't know what this new allegation is. I haven't seen my children for over 4 months. How could I put them in danger? This is the one with Eden.
Of Eden by her dad. And still I haven't met the kids. Since
she
she
went
went
to
to
Scott
Scott
County.
County.
So she got everything was dismissed in Hennepin County. So what does she do? The day before I'm supposed to pick up the children, I'm supposed to pick the girls up last Wednesday. On Tuesday, she calls Scott County.
Okay, thanks for the allegation. This is where I'm like, are you not connecting the dots? Right, it's frustrating, and I can see your frustration. I see that, okay? Listen, I've done what I asked to do, and now you're going to take my kids away. Like, it's just, I can't let you do that. Mr. Cross, so me and my partner, we're here for your children, me and my partner.
All right, there we go again.
Me and my partner are here in the best interest for the children. Obviously, you and your wife.
Okay, there we go again, right? They clearly just said that he was here for the best interest of the children, or not for the best interest. He was there to get the kids, which now tells me that they've already talked to the CPS agent before they went there. CPS told them that we were going there to take the kids, and they also made it known that it was the responsibility of the police officers by somebody, right? That they were there to take those kids.
No, it's CPS is there.
But the police just said he was there. That was the policeman that was talking. He just said he was there to take. Yeah, I'm gonna rewind this a second here, just because maybe I misheard it or something. But let's see here, right there. Let's try that here. There we go. Let's re-listen.
No, I heard what the police said, but his job is just to make sure.
We're here for your children, me and my partner, okay?
We're here for your
me
children.
and my partner are here in the best interest for the children. Obviously, you and your wife, you know, I'm sorry with everything that you've gone through with your ex-wife.
All right.
We're here for your children. Yes.
Okay.
We all here for your children.
Okay.
But when it comes to the gritty, who's going into the CPS office with a child? The personnel.
Yeah.
The police are going to go back and patrol.
Right, but here's my thing: the police are supposed to be there just for to monitor, like a referee, right?
No, to avoid any confrontation,
right?
For an order. Now,
Okay.
Order from what I'm hearing, it was an order to the child.
Well, that they can't provide.
Or the children.
But that's what they say. But they can't provide one. They're not showing. What they're saying is that they have a safety plan. Then that guy's saying that it's not signed by a judge. It's just a safety plan. So they're operating from a safety plan that was signed, which people always remember. Safety plans, they're voluntary. Don't sign them. Don't sign them. Go see your lawyer first. Do not sign them on your first go. They actually get bonus money from that if you sign it on your first time around. So make sure that you pay attention to the safety plans. Don't just be eager and sign it. If they come with threats and all of that stuff, that's illegal. They cannot force you to sign a contract. They cannot force you to answer questions. But, however, like we constantly talk about, the second that they come through that door right there, they have their jurisdiction. And that's the other thing, is I don't understand why the police have jurisdiction to handle this situation, because they were not called to the address by him seeking help. And if his role from CPS is supposed to be just to like a bodyguard, then how do the police even have any of the jurisdiction to say what they're saying here?
I don't understand why either. Because I've seen situations where the police officer would just put himself out there like that. Unless there's a confrontation between the CPS officer and the parent. Then the police officer would jump in.
Right. And I understand that.
But I haven't seen any confrontation between the CPS officer and the parent.
No, not yet. We haven't. So the police. So that's right. So the police should be zipped at this point. Wouldn't you agree? Like they're engaging.
I would agree. And I think the parent has a good point about where's the sign of what is it called? What report?
They call it a well. They have they have the safety order, but then they also have the preliminary protection order. There's a bunch of
no. You order to take the child.
Okay, so that would be a PPO up here in Maine. It's called preliminary protection order. I don't know what they call it.
And that should be signed by a judge.
Correct.
Okay. So then the parent should be questioned, where is that document signed by the judge?
Correct. 100%. Absolutely.
There you go.
Because if they don't,
that's where everything went haywire.
right? Because if they don't have one, what has to happen, Herbert?
Right. If they don't have one, you can't take a child.
Right. So this is a boo-boo on the dad's part. He doesn't realize that. I don't think, like, he's flailing. He's scared. I've been in his situation. He's scared. He doesn't know what to do. He's flailing. He's trying to look for help. He's trying to grasp at straws because he knows that these kids are only inches away from being taken away. Let's continue with this.
Now, what if parent turned around, opened the door, and went back inside and come back with a court order, and we'll talk.
I don't know. You're the police officer. What?
Number one, the police is not going to arrest him for what?
Well, you see what's coming up that they wouldn't allow. Well, okay, so this coming up only. You know what? You can see right here. This happens next. So let's watch this, and this will answer your question.
With Jessica, but our best interest, me and my partners, for the children. Now, I'm glad that you have a supervisor in there, that you're abiding by that. But if I were you, sir, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, okay? This is just me. If I was in your position, which I'm not, but I see your frustration, what I would do is just have the children go with CPS, okay? Hold on, let me finish, sir, okay? Because let's say the children stay here. She's gonna keep making those allegations, right? Oh man, they're at his house. He's probably doing this and all of that's gonna happen.
So I have a supervisor, which I agreed to with CPS. The fact that you're doing this right now seems at best incompetent, at worst criminal bias.
Okay, but let me finish, Mr. Cross. You didn't let me finish.
No,
so Mr. Cross, wouldn't you rather be safe for them? Because you know they're going to go with CPS, child protection. You know what I mean?
So they're going to be safe no matter what when they go with him, okay? Because he's a professional. They're going to go with Jessica, I'm assuming, okay?
That's not safe.
Okay.
That is not safe.
So
She injuring someone?
Emotional abuse, which I've been screaming for months. I just had my daughters tell me today that they are feeling compelled to say things.
By who?
Who do you think?
My mother. What things are being compelled to say?
all these allegations is in for protection.
How do I prove that I haven't done something? That's why I'm like, my buddy was in he's like, we have 4 hours surveillance in the house. I'm like, I would love to, but I don't have terabytes of storage to record 6 months of video footage. I mean, I'm doing everything I can. And I can't, this is why I'm so irate now, because I've just sat back and hoped professionals do their jobs before, and this hurts me. Now I'm screaming. And that's why I told her, I said, please take my children out of this situation with their mother. I would rather they be with another family who's neutral. Put them with her.
That sounds great.
Maybe I'll put them with her father. Let my father do that. I mean, with my father.
You told us that you've been renting and you've been patient for 4 months, right? Why don't you be patient for 10 days?
This is the first time I've seen my children in over 4 months. And you're showing up to take them away? They take my kids. The first time I've seen them.
Okay.
You guys have children?
How about this? Listen. Okay. We're here to do a job, okay? And it's going to be done today. It's only going to make things worse and more traumatic for them if it turns into some issue with you fighting and trying to resist and stop it. We don't. That's not an emergency order. That's what we're here to do today. We can sign a police hold, and that's what we're doing.
What is this?
And the basis there. And so that's what we're going to do today.
So now this cop goes around his question, goes around the whole warrant thing, and now he supposedly has something that they call a police hold that they are allowed to use if a child is in danger. Do you know anything about that, Herbert?
I don't know the whole thing.
Right. Well, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Do you know about the police hold?
In danger. I mean, I can't even respond to that because I don't know what information they have reasonable cause to believe that the child is in danger.
Right. Well, that's it. They're not even in the door of the house yet. They haven't even gone inside to look.
No.
So this guy's already. This cop has already decided that he's taking these kids no matter what.
Yeah. But what probable cause do they have?
Right. That's it. Other than this guy that says he works for CPS.
We're in the full stories, what I'm saying, Gary.
Right. Well, they're not supposed to be the.
I haven't heard a word from the CPS office.
Right. Just very few. But let's watch this. This gets good right here. Watch. The question to your thing about how about when they come inside and they open the door, or what would happen if you turn and close the door? You're going to get this answered right here.
Like I said, it's only going to make things more traumatic for them and damage them more.
You don't think this is going to be damaging for them right now to be taken out of this house?
I don't. Not as much as they see us putting you in handcuffs.
There we go. There's the threat.
I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah, that would be traumatic.
So they're threatening to handcuff this guy.
Yes.
Well, being taken by officers to their mother's house is going to be traumatic.
Well, we're not going to forcibly pull them out of the house.
I still don't see an order to take the child.
We're just going to walk them outside. We're going to fill out some paperwork. We're going to get a copy of the paperwork.
They're not going to be okay with that. I mean, this is my children, and they're supposed to be expecting to stay the night with their dad. The first time they've seen their dad in 4 months.
Okay. So we're here.
Anyone comes to me and says that this isn't the best interest for children. The children are not in harm.
Here's the other thing with that. We're out here standing in the porch, and we haven't even seen the children. You know what I mean? So how do we not know that they're not currently in danger right now?
And they're being strung out for torture. There's one of my friends. I don't think that's what you're insinuating.
No,
I don't want the children to see.
That's outlandish. That's outlandish. Okay, so wait a minute. I gotta say this. So this cop just says that's outlandish, but yet they just question the safety of this gentleman's kids inside the house. Again, I have to reiterate, they're there just to moderate and make sure nothing happens. These guys now have taken the front lead role of removing the kids from this house, and they are going to do it no matter what.
Well, it sounds like the situation because the CPS officer still hasn't stepped up to play.
Right. He said, a little bit here and there, but he hasn't said anything about why or what or anything else. There's nothing.
Yes. And this is where it's very awkward to me. I've never seen a case like that before.
Right. All right. So watch this. I keep thinking that it's right here, but we're almost there. Here we go.
She's freaking out because she has high anxiety. This is not going to help. And the fact that the government is behind this, I have a real problem that too many police officers who tell me they can't respond to active shootings are now.
I didn't tell you we can't respond to active shootings.
His partner said that we don't even have police officers respond to active shootings. But
now you're willing to respond to active shootings.
Now you're willing to come to my house and take my children away for civil murder. I know you guys think about it. I know you see what's happening here. I would like to be able to at least contact my lawyer.
Well, your lawyer's not going to change our money. Only a judge. If you're going to imagine a judge said,
sorry about that. There you go.
That's the only way we're going to take them off.
Okay. So you're going against the standing order based on the CPS safety plan that has no jurisdiction over.
We're here to make sure jurisdiction. We're going to take the children out of the house.
That's good. That's what I've been trying to say, that I want to see the children.
I can treat the children, but you're telling me that you're going to take them away.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like we're standing here when we can. Obviously, they already saw us clearly. So it's like we do want to see the children.
So he's trying to force his way into that house, huh?
You gotta abide by this safety plan, and
I have abided by it.
Verbally,
okay, that's fine.
Where's the supervisor, sir?
Do you want me to bring her around?
Well, we don't
We're
know.
going into going. We don't have to go along the door.
There you go. There's your answer,
Yeah,
Herbert.
because that wouldn't be polite, right?
No.
Well, absolutely.
I'm a
I
former
didn't hear it. Say it.
Okay. He says, I'll play it again. Let's see. It's very low.
I'm getting echo.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So he says, well, I'm going to go and let me just get it right here when he says it. Here we go.
Safety plan.
I
And
have abided by it. Mr. Muse is the one who told me to have a supervisor. He said, okay, that's
okay,
fine.
where's the supervisor, sir?
Do you want me to bring her around?
Well, we don't
We're
know.
going to go in. We're not going to go along.
There you go.
Yeah, because that wouldn't be polite, right?
No.
Well, absolutely.
I'm a former Marine. I've served my country.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had an issue with the law. I've never been in a physical confrontation.
Well, thank you for your service, sir. Well, like I said, we appreciate that and everything that you've done. And it's better, like you said, to remain law-abiding, right? I mean, right now we're here to do a welfare check. Okay.
So he just said, no, he won't let him turn around because he's going to lock the door behind them. Okay. So these guys are proving now that their role this entire time has been nothing more than to come, take charge of the situation, and remove these guys' children without knowing a damn thing, without a signed warrant, without any of that stuff. I mean, the proof's right here in the pudding. That caseworker hasn't said more than 5 words yet about why he's there, what's going on, blah, 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 blah. These cops are very adamant about getting inside of that house. And in my own opinion, I feel like those cops are doing this so they can get that caseworker inside. Now they've got jurisdiction.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
You know, and this is a cheap move from a law enforcement agency that's supposed to protect us.
If you want to do a welfare check, I'm
That's
100% fine.
my
children.
CPS. That's the reason why they're doing it.
Right, but they're supposed to also take care of us, the citizen, right? Like that's supposed to be part of their daily duties too. And so this is where I don't understand. Now they've clearly taken a side to this. There's no
They
have
picked
they have right. They have
but it's obvious that they have because charged them to do that. In other words, the CPS spoke to the officers and said, look, by all means, we have to get those kids out of it.
Yep.
The officer should say, you have an order saying we should take the kids out.
Yeah. So, all right, here we go. Watch this. This gets better.
Against an order, I'm not okay with that.
Well, the court order doesn't say that children can never be taken out of your house. That's just it's the divorce decree that governs who has primary physical custody and whatnot. Okay, but if something else comes up that makes us worried that children are unsafe, that order does not supersede the safety of children.
Well, I don't have anything that's telling me that the children are going to be legally removed because I put them in harm's way.
Well, I'm going to give you the paperwork once we get it.
He's going to give them the paperwork. Okay.
We're going to make sure the children are okay, and we're going to grab the paperwork, and we're going to fill it out, and that's going to be the order.
The fact that you're doing this when I'm the one who told you that Scott County just informed me that there was an additional abuse allegation against me. And I said, are you putting the pieces together? A couple days after the order of protection, they didn't want to pick up my kids. She calls Scott County and says, oh yeah, there's this other allegation that I forgot to mention before, but now here's something new. You can't tell me you're not connecting the dots from that.
Well, you're simple with your wife. I'm not going to get involved with that. I'm not
There
going
we
to
go.
make sure the children are safe. Period.
And I want to help you with that. I love the fact that I can treat my children safe. I'm not okay with the fact that someone's going to forcibly remove them from a house.
Well, that's what's going on.
That's what's going to happen, he says.
So I can see paperwork.
We're going inside first, and we're going to make sure the children.
Now he's asking and asking and asking.
Fill it out, and we'll give you your copies.
Yeah, you will get a copy of it, sir. With all that.
What do we do? What do you do now? Ask. What do you? Okay, as a civilian, Herbert, as a civilian, you've asked for this guys to produce a signed copy of something or a piece of paper or something to allow them to come into your home and so on and so forth, and they are not doing it, what do you do as a civilian, meaning being this guy? Because now your rights are clearly getting ready to be trampled.
Personally, I think there should be a talk with the CPS officer and the police at the point. Because it's obvious that the homeowner, the parent, sees how to stand his ground.
Right. And I mean, where would it apply here? The stand your ground laws, or the castle laws.
Stand your ground, I'm talking about. I stand your ground. I'm talking about. He knows his rights. The parent knows his rights.
Understood.
And
these people are breaking the law, and you have certain rights that you have to defend your home, right? What rights does this guy have to stop them now from coming into his home?
He's already stopped them to have an entry. If the police were going to enter, they would have been there 10 minutes ago.
Okay. All right. That's fair, I guess.
Police don't sit around trying to negotiate about fulfilling an order or something. They're just going to do it. It's a done deal. So the fact that the officer is still out there back and forth, that's telling me that I don't think CPS has the proper paperwork to children.
So are they just wearing him down, though, to allow him to enter into the...
I think they're trying to wear the parents down.
All right. Let's continue watching here.
I mean, this is beyond criminal.
It's not criminal.
I'm gonna be off.
Say that again, Herb? Oh, you're going off?
Off camera for some.
Okay, yeah. So here we go. Continue on this.
If it has to happen, it happens. We do it if we need to do it. It's nothing we can enjoy. It sucks. I don't enjoy doing it.
Taking children away from a parent, and this is ironic. That their mother is the one who's emotionally them and neglecting them. I have been exceptional. It's not even that I'm average father. I go out of my way to put these kids first. And the fact that she's trying to tear them away so that she can replace me with a husband. I get it, because my
place you with husband. That's what she wants. We wouldn't even be here if we hadn't taken them out of school.
Now he's turning the blame back onto the guy.
Right. He's supposed to talk to them before they left.
Did you tell me that?
I talked to Jessica.
He talked to Jessica.
Is Jessica supposed to report to me that information? Is today my normal parenting time?
Okay. Like I said, we're here to remove the children. Period. CPS things need to be removed. They have information that they're investigating. Okay. So
Credible, right? Credible. So no matter what, these cops are going inside this guy's house.
Like I said, I'm not going to lock the door and lock us out.
I'm not gonna lock the door. You're welcome to stand here.
Nope, we're going to come in with you.
No, right. You won't. No, he's still trying not to let him in.
We're here to remove the children. We're coming in.
Okay.
Part of that is checking their welfare.
Sure. I mean, I was gonna bring it up too.
Yep, he entered the home under threat of arrest.
And they're in a home with.
Whoa! Look at that place. So dangerous.
We're good. I'm guessing you're probably aware of the whole situation. That's why you're here.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out with my daughter's friends with Sayla.
Yep. So, I don't know if you want to come in and just explain what's going on.
Now he speaks. Now he speaks. Unbelievable. And here's this poor guy having to say goodbye to his kids. What's that?
Now CPS speaks.
Yeah, now that they're inside, CPS is talking. Correct.
Yes, sir.
It's ridiculous.
And there was no court order to take the children.
No, we never saw anything. We never saw a dang thing. So
Is there stairs over here?
Oh, just the white
you-
chairs.
Oh, the white lounge area? Lounge area?
Okay, yeah.
This one.
and we all know here what goes on. We don't need to watch this. This is this.
He's gonna place him with mom for now.
I mean, who's taking them? This gentleman is?
Yeah, he's gonna take him and then they're gonna go to mom.
Just all right. Well, I don't need to see this. So this guy got exposed for lying to the police. He got in trouble for it, and he still has a job. Jesus, and he gets charged with a felony. It's crazy.
You said he got charged with a felony?
Yeah, and he said he requested his CPS still try to terminate his parental rights. He still has.
What was the felony charge?
It doesn't say.
See, that's why I said we got all parts of the story. Not just
Right.
pieces of.
Got car seats in there.
10 months later, he hasn't seen his kids in 10 months. He's got you can also see this on the website.
Put them in my squad car. I'm allowed to transport them without seatbelts per state law. If that makes you feel better.
Without a car seat?
Yep.
Yeah, here we go. We're talking about at the beginning of the show.
Not whether it's
I know they're going like a block.
Oh,
But if we tried to transport our child without a car seat, we'd get pulled over, we'd get fined, all this.
We're not following her around.
There should be a spot.
Press is trying to keep you guys separate. That's all.
I would love to have a team of law enforcement officers that would do my bidding too.
We're not doing her bidding. We're not doing her bidding.
That's the way it's working.
I was
Love
here
you guys.
last week,
Love
so
you guys.
specifically for you. Just so I like to point that out. Just
A
saying.
report doesn't
RescueMyChild.org.
Sorry.
You need to remember that because I don't. This guy needs our help, people. He needs us to. I mean, this was just heart wrenching. This whole story. It's terrible.
Where can your viewers watch this? Is it on YouTube?
No, well, you can get it on YouTube, but I'd rather you go to abolishcps.com. And on there, you go to the news section and you'll find it there. Like I said,
Okay.
There's other news stories there that you get to see. Oh, Herbert left me. Officer Herbert left the building. Guys.
No, I'm still here.
All right.
Herbert is still here.
All right, Herbert's in the house. Herbert, so after seeing that,
Still in the house.
after seeing how the police and how they they interacted, what they did, the things that they did, what say you about that whole thing? Because we got to wrap this up now. After we'll talk about this, but what says you about what just took place there? How can you, as a former police officer and a very decorated and high up police officer, can you say that they were right, wrong? What would they do? Give what you would say to the audience here. What could they do? Give a quick little rundown of what you saw, what you think, man.
Well, my feeling is number one that the parents should have been talking directly to CPS, not to the officer.
Okay.
It could be very polite and say, "Officer, I understand, your position, blah, blah, blah. But may I speak to the CPS personnel?"
Okay.
Because I'm looking at it from the perspective of, has a crime been broken? Like, was there a crime? And a crime is nothing more than a misdemeanor or a felony. So what was a misdemeanor? What was a felony? I didn't hear any misdemeanor or felony.
No, I didn't hear anything that was going on other than he took his kids out of school on the day that he had for visitation.
This is something that has to do with CPS and the courts and the parents.
Right. So
as police personnel, they shouldn't even get involved.
Right. And this is, I mean, we heard firsthand, these guys were gunning to take these kids out of his house. Like that was their intentions from the get-go, was to go there and take those children away from that man. And no one was going to change his mind. No one was going to tell them any different. It was right. It didn't matter if you're right, wrong, or indifferent. That's what was happening, and that's what they were doing.
Yes. And they should have showed the individual, the parent, the paperwork signed by a judge saying that we have the right to take the kids.
Excellent. Well, guys, you
It
heard
was never done.
No. So what would you say about this entire interaction? Is this legal, illegal, not valid? What do you think about this?
I can't comment on that because, like I said, I don't know the whole story.
Right. But based on face value, if you were to just...
Based on face value, I did not see the parent given the opportunity to see why his children are going to be taken away. And a signed court order by the judge.
Right.
I didn't see anything like that. And I didn't see the CPS officer really interact with the parent.
No.
It was mostly the police personnel.
Right.
The only time police personnel do that is when CPS is not available.
Okay. So you're saying, like, if you went into a bad situation and you would have to bring him back to the station or something like that to hang on and...
Sure. A situation where a mother is abusing her child in a grocery store or whatever, and the police are called. It's just the police, the mother. That's it. There's no CPS involved.
Right.
And then choices have to be made right there on the spot. And chances are, depends upon the condition, CPS may be called by law enforcement.
Right. To get him.
Or how bad the situation might be. Law enforcement might be nice and say, well, do you have a relative that can take the children? Because we're taking you into custody. Right. So since we're taking you into custody to avoid getting CPS involved, do you have someone that can take care of your children? Right. In 9 out of 10 cases, that's how that will go down. Okay. But in a case where CPS is right there on the spot, that was baffling to me. I couldn't understand why the CPS personnel would not get involved.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, overall, I guess that's that, right? Like we know what's going to happen. We know that they're going to show up there. We know for a fact that we've heard firsthand from you that the number one thing that was wrong in that whole situation is that they didn't have a warrant, man. They didn't have a warrant. They had nothing signed. So as a person of interest, I guess you would say, or a family's interest, do you turn them away? What recourse do you have to make sure?
Allow me to interject. What I saw and I didn't see was any kind of paperwork presented to the parent showing that they have the right to take the children. Right. I did not see that.
You think that would be damn important?
Yeah, because it's showing the parent, here, sir, here's the rights we have to take the child. It was signed by a judge, so you can either stand in our way, we'll walk over you, or you stand out of the way, but we're gonna get the kid.
It's awful. But anyway, here, Mr. Herbert, thank you so much for tonight. We are 10 minutes past our cut down, so it's time for us to head on out of here. Thank you so much. Everybody, Herbert's with us as much as he can be. So if any of these times you have law questions pertaining to the police departments or whatever, feel free to log into the show, throw up some questions for Herbert in the chat, and I'm sure he'll be glad to answer them. Or if you want to email him, you can email him at info@abolishcps.com. I'll make sure that he gets the emails for there. So if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to talk to, ask Herbert, then please go ahead and do that. But Herbert, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Yeah, and the questions that they can ask, if it doesn't even pertain to CPS, just law enforcement questions in general, I'll be happy to talk about.
Love it. I love it, Herbert. All right, Herbert. Thank you so much, my man. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. So that was Officer Herbert Petty. You heard it first, man. If they don't have a warrant that's not signed, force them to show you that stuff. These people are trampling our freaking rights. And someone's got to put their foot down, and someone needs to let them know that this is not it. This is not the way it's supposed to be. First of all, you're not supposed to be stealing my kids. Second of all, you're not coming to my house because you don't have a warrant. Third of all, you don't have jurisdiction anyway. You're supposed to be coming to be with the CPS workers to monitor. These cops were clearly gunning to take the kids. This is wrong. This is bad behavior. Somehow we've promoted it, and somehow we got to stop it, and that's by packing it up. Guys, the CPS Punisher calling you. Don't ever let the police inside your house without a warrant. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Don't forget, check out abolishcps.com. Check out all the stuff we've got going on that website. We'll be back on tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Let's do this thing, guys. Thank you so much.